New cardiac implanted electronic devices are capable of remote monitoring. That is, these devices can send information from the patient's home to their medical team in a remote location. Recently, cardiac organizations are now placing a greater emphasis on patients to engage with their cardiac device remote monitoring. And two emerging areas of this engagement are around one, providing the patients with adequate education and support following cardiac device implant, and two, allowing the patients to interact with this data from the remote monitoring. Therefore, our study aims to examine the efficacy of a novel cardiac device remote monitoring management program on improving patient engagement with their device management. So this study will be a multi-centered randomized control trial of 100 patients post cardiac device implant and will run for a period of 6 months. In terms of the Participate program, the intervention group will be composed of, firstly, patients will receive regular semi-personalized SMS messages about their cardiac device, as well as around their cardiovascular health and lifestyle activities. Secondly, patients will have access to a two-way communication portal with the Participate healthcare team, where patients can ask questions on things which may come up throughout the 6-month period. And lastly, we'll be utilizing remote monitoring to detect certain clinical issues around patients' health and cardiovascular disease. And upon detecting these clinical issues, we'll subsequently be sending personalized messages to these patients to provide them with support and advice on how to deal with this issue. The primary outcome of the Participate study is to examine the patient's self-efficacy with managing their cardiac device. An example of a patient journey. Here on the left of screen, we have Max, who has just had a cardiac device implanted, and Max is then enrolled in the Participate trial. On week 1, Max receives his first SMS, and here on out for the next 6 weeks, Max will receive semi-personalized regular messages surrounding his cardiac device and remote monitoring. In week 3, Max decides to use the SMS communication portal, and here he asks our team questions on his drive and restrictions post-implant. At week 7, Max will no longer receive cardiac device messages, and he will more receive information around his cardiovascular health and support and advice on maintaining healthy lifestyle behaviors. And these messages will continue up until the end of the trial. At week 22, Max is alerted that his remote monitoring has detected new onset AF, and here the team will send semi-personalized messages around atrial fibrillation to provide Max with support and education and safety netting of symptoms. And at week 26, the trial is complete and Max goes back to receiving the standard of care he receives from his device clinic.